Hello everyone, and welcome to the first ever developer update for Aron's Adventure. Now you might be wondering, Aron's Adventure? What? What's that? Well, it's the new title for our game, Dungeon Game. Dungeon Game you might know because if you found this video, it's probably the game you voted for on Steam Greenlight. Now, why the name change? Um, the game, when we started out almost a year ago, this game was completely different from what it is now. We started off with this fun concept for a game jam that we could potentially do if we join a game jam, and then it grew out into so much more. Now, to see what people would respond like and how you guys would feel about it, we decided let's just go to Greenlight and let's see what people say about it. This was in the final few weeks of Greenlight, so there were a lot of games on there and we were completely aware, so we didn't expect a lot. But to our surprise, we've had almost 9,000 unique visitors, almost 4,200 yes votes, and almost 400 followers. And we were both blown away by this result, because it's without doing any marketing, without really sharing anything on social media, with a few exceptions here or there, we managed to get together so many votes, so many enthusiastic people to vote on our game. And the yes to no ratio is also incredibly positive if you compare it to other um, other Greenlight campaigns out there that shared their statistics. So we were really enthusiastic about this, and we decided that some changes would be required during our pre-production phase, which was during the summer and before the summer, so during our Greenlight action. Basically, we joined Greenlight to see what the response would be, and if it was positive enough, we would take this project into full production, which is where we are at now. We've been in full production for 4 weeks, and we're definitely going to be continuing for probably a year and potentially more. Well, definitely more. Probably it's gonna be early 2019, but no, don't quote me on that. Greenlight. What else did we take away from Greenlight? From all around us, we heard a lot of, yo, change the name because Dungeon Game is too generic. I still don't completely agree with that. I still think that you could make a game called Dungeon Game, and if you promote it enough, it could be the Dungeon Game. So if you talk Dungeon Game, people know what it's about, but it's not really our game anymore, and you do have to, of course, spend a lot in marketing and do all that stuff to get a name like that to be very popular and everyone knowing what game it's about. So we did decide to change the name. We already talked about it a little bit. It's now Aron's Adventure. And then the next point would be, I switched tabs here. Let me think. I think it was five. No, there were just these pages of comments. Yeah, here. Look at this page. On this page, you see just 4 or 5 times people saying, "Is this Minecraft? Knockoff of Minecraft?" Not necessarily negative, but also not the response we want. We've seen this already. Our game jam games are usually with the blocky character art because that's, easy to do within that time frame. And at conventions, at get-togethers and smaller conventions, and people play your game, you also see a lot of people that just glance at the screen and then they see a blocky character and then they continue walking, even though they don't know what the game is about. People see blocky character and they think Minecraft, and you can't really judge them for that, I guess. So that was a main reason to change up our art style a little bit. With a little bit, I mean, getting rid of the blocky characters and going more towards a stylized direction instead of a full-on blocky broccoli tree direction. Now the guys that were working on our characters before are now working in this really new great style, which we absolutely love. And here's a screenshot of these characters. More going to be added soon. But this is what we are working with at the moment. This is just a silly video I recorded for Tom, just to show or let him hear the different sounds for walking. That's why it's in low quality. So switch. So yeah, Aron's Adventure, new art, new characters, but don't worry, it's not going to change again. This is the final style. Of course, small changes will happen. These might not be the trees you see in game, things like that, but We settled on a style. We're no longer in pre-production. We're really focusing on making the game instead of defining what the game is, because we have that defined. So no more giant changes in there. So what happened after our green light? After our green light, we had some emotional moments, so to say. Believe it or not, both our PCs broke down, or more specifically our GPUs. Well, I had a pretty outdated PC in general, so I got a new PC, and Tom got a new graphics card, but that didn't really allow us to work for a little bit there. It's not cheap either. So over the summer we focus more on things like planning. So we really have a planning now for half year, and after that half year we will look at what needs to be done, or what's most important at that point. So what should we focus on from then for the next half year, and then probably one more half year and a little bit for polish and final things. So full production. The last 4 weeks we've been in full production, and starting now, this week, we will start sharing more on our development, because we've seen a lot and we've read a lot from indie companies that when looking back on their game, they say they failed because they didn't really put that much time into marketing. And that's something that we want to avoid by making regular content for you guys and making sure we keep communicating with you guys to see what your ideas of the game, or if you have any questions, or what you think of things we're working on. So that's really important for us. You are as important to the success of this game as we are working on it. So on Monday you can expect blog posts from Tom, because he likes that format, so he'll be doing blog posts. On Wednesday I'll try to do more of an in-depth video of something I worked on or am working on, and then on Friday I try to wrap up my week with information about everything I worked on that week. So we do have a website now, which is also where you'll be able to find our blog. It's called aronsadventure.com. But what I do recommend you to join is Timer Games on Discord. The link you will be able to find in the description, and the link will also be available on the website aronsadventure.com. So it won't be hard for you to find it, but I recommend you join it if you're really interested in our game's development and want to know what up. And hopefully we'll start posting stuff in things like sneak peek soon. But discussions has been a bit more active, and we love to hear your suggestions for the game. We also have a Facebook page, so if you're really more of a Facebook person, feel free to join there. I doubt you'll find anything there that you won't find on say YouTube, for example. And there's also a Twitter. Same story. Maybe we'll post more of the sneak peek things on Twitter as well. But then still, I really recommend you join us in Discord, because it's fun. And we'd love to see you there. So I guess that's it for the first video. I hope you like our new direction, and I can't wait to show you guys more of the game, show you all the things that we've been working on, and that's what we're going to do starting this week. So hopefully I'll see you next week in the next video. Don't know what I'll be covering then, we'll see. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next week. Okay, bye bye.